Hi, hello, Future Kobe here. Future Kobe in the sense that by the time you'll see this, I'll be in the past, but the me you're seeing now is a few days ahead of the me that you'll see after I get done talking in a bit. Today's video is a special one because it's my first collaboration. It's not technically a YouTube collaboration, it was more so an overall music project collaboration, but I'm going to consider it my first YouTube collaboration. I'll go more in depth as to how this all came together, but long story short, I was tasked with making a song out of a single sample, and I ended up liking it so much that it's now my new intro and outro music. Yes, I said intro. We have one of those now. Roll it. Hi, hello. So I was given the amazing opportunity to collaborate with the Tewa. He's doing these kind of Andrew Huang style videos where he invites other musicians to send in a few samples, and one of those samples is chosen at random, and then each of us is tasked with creating a song out of that one sample. Now, the one stipulation that we were given was that the sample had to be the main drive for the song. So that's exactly what I did, and I made it pretty much all of the drum parts. So as you can tell, I've got multiple instances of a Jacob's sample, Jacob SHIJE. He was one of the other musicians that was invited to do this. The only things out of all the drum parts and the percussion that aren't the sample are the kick and an extra kind of complementary snare that I put in kind of the chorus sections just to give it a little bit more pop. So here's the sample that was chosen for our group. Pretty simple. And immediately upon hearing that sample, I had kind of lo-fi vibes out of it. Like it's very much, a nice little like stick click that I felt really would do well as a snare sound. Long story short, basically all I did with the sample was I changed the start times and the lengths of it. I pitched it down, I pitched it up, I changed how long the sample is, as in like how long it gets played out, and I applied a multitude of different effects to the sample, like compression, distortion, EQ'd things. So this is what the snare ended up sounding like. I added this little pre-snare effect, which is just the sample reversed with the actual hit cut out. Took the same sample, pitched it up this time, changed the length and stuff, put some distortion, compression on it, gave it kind of like a hi-hat kind of sound. This one I ended up just kind of more so using the actual sample on its own. All I did was pitch it down just to kind of fill out some space, give the drums a little bit of extra groove. This is again the same sample. It's named differently because I had to render out the audio and then mess with it from there. I believe I just took the sample and I put Tal Reverb 4 on it, and then I rendered that audio and then cut it up how I wanted it to sound and used it as kind of what I call a creepy crawly crash. Kind of phases like downward, and it has like a creepy crawly kind of sound. Took the samples. I actually played this on the keyboard to use two different sounds. They kind of sound like lighter flicks when you're trying to light a lighter. Again, this is designed to kind of be a bit of a lo-fi track, so one of the things that I personally like to do, just to kind of put my own little style and taste on it, is that instead of using vinyl crackle like everyone else does, I like to use rain, specifically forest rain, just because there's a lot of ambient noises from the rain hitting trees and, the leaves and other various plants, and, like bird calls and, other sounds of the night in the forest. So I take that recording and then I put it in reverse so that way you hear like the raindrops and stuff backwards, and then it kind of gives it kind of like the same vinyl crackle kind of sound. That was actually my first time hearing that soloed played backwards. That has a really interesting sound to it. Oh, one thing that I almost forgot to mention is this bird call that kind of comes in with these crashes when these choruses come in. I was going through different forest rain stuff to act as my vinyl crackle. There was this one recording that started with this bird call. I liked the cadence of it. So then I took that, I cut it up in 3 different ways and made them unique. So one part's faster and then it slows down to this one part, and then this third part right here is actually reversed. So it kind of comes in, but it acts with this crash, and it just kind of adds like this nice I don't know. I can't like explain it. I just thought it sounded cool when it comes in with the stuff. But and one thing that I did with that is this is one of my all absolute favorite plugins. It's called Pancake 2. It's essentially an auto panner is all it does, and you can mess with these points and add more and kind of just go crazy with this. And you can set it to like pan it like, you know, wide left or into wide right, or even half left, wide right, or you can even like have it do like some weird wobbly effects and stuff, and you can put that to like a beat right here. I pan it just to kind of give it some movement. Same thing I did with these shimmer chords. It just adds a lot of feel to when this chorus comes in. But other than that, like Tewa said, the sample had to be the main drive of the song, and I feel like having been, you know, in percussion and in band for like 7-8 years of my life, I really have a feeling for drums, and they're kind of, to me, they're kind of the most important thing to a song. And so my drums are usually designed to be kind of the main drive of the song, so I just did exactly what I was told to do. It's not an overly produced song. One of my mantra that I kind of try to remember when I'm like mixing and producing stuff is to keep it simple. I often find myself intimidated by trying to think of the track as a whole instead of just focusing on trying out different things with all these different instruments and then blending them from there. So I added guitars, sub bass, keys, some synths, white noise. We got a nice little guitar solo for the verse, and then we have various, you know, EQs, filter sweeps. Got a nice phaser in there, just to kind of intro the song, and then the song kind of becomes very wide and full once everything comes in. But that's pretty much all I did. Nothing too complex or anything like that. This was, again, just a nice little fun idea and a nice way to kind of challenge my brain. I don't think I need to really explain much more of anything. Pretty much covered it all. Like I said, pretty simple, nothing complex. I'll let the track speak for itself. So this is what it sounds like, and I call it Lovely. All right, so that is my track. I call it Lovely with a U instead of an O. There's a streamer I watch called LuluLuvely, and that's how she spells it. And I just had her stream playing like on my Sega monitor while I was working on this for like all of Sunday. And I was like, I don't know what I want to call this other besides the Tewa collab. I like the way this sounds. I feel like it deserves a name. And so I just kind of like looked left, and I was like, oh, why don't we just call it Lovely? Because it kind of sounds lovely. That's gonna be it. Huge shout out to Tewa. for inviting me and Jacob SHIJE to collaborate with him and do this. This was a lot of fun. A nice little challenge for me, and an excuse for me to work some more on more like kind of lo-fi beats, instrumental kind of stuff, which I'm just like super into at the moment. But thanks again, and I will see you guys later.